Welcome to RootStem and welcome to this quick and easy tutorial telling you how to get your transfers looking great on your models. Hi guys, thank you very much for joining us. And as you can see, we're continuing on doing these particular models that we did the other day. We're actually going to be doing some transfers, and the reason I'm doing this, I did a video about this a bit back, but YouTube likes it when you repeat things for some reason. I don't know why. So I'm going to be doing a 2021 update on applying transfers onto your models. Some of the fundamental things to think about when you're applying transfers to your miniatures is what transfers you're going to put where and how they're going to be displayed properly. Are we going to be able to be in a place where you're not going to be picking it up a lot, or are you going to have to use quite a lot of varnish because you are going to be in a place where you are going to be picking them up frequently. I'm going to be doing the sheet from the Blood Bowl set. This is quite easy because a lot of the actual characters have quite natural sort of shoulder pads. They're not that curved, unlike when you do a Space Marine shoulder pad like that one there. It is a little awkward to be able to actually get the stuff, well, to actually get the transfer on. There is some other people out there that's done videos regarding this, but this one is pretty much, for me, is a little bit of a foolproof method. So what you're going to need for this is a couple of different liquids. Now you can, if you want to, varnish the area first. This gives it a little bit more purchase to actually adhere to. You don't have to. It's not essential. On these particular models, I'm not going to be varnishing them first, but I will be varnishing them after because they're on a metallic plate. So I'm going to be kind of double varnishing them. I'm going to be using some hard coat from Citadel. There you are. Just with a little tiny bit of water, and then I've got another varnishing process that I do right at the end when I've actually done everything on the model. That way I managed to get like a double varnish going. So I've got some of the actual transfers cut out. I have my trusty brushes that I'm going to be using. Sometimes I use like a small basing brush, or I'll use one of the old school Citadel shade brushes. I've got quite nice, quite soft bristles on them to be able to push the transfer away from the backing sheet. Now what I do to get the transfers off is I have some folded up kitchen roll, as you can see from there, and I simply pour water on. Now I'm using an old bottle. This is from my airbrushing. This is just an old flooring improver bottle that I have filled up with water. Some people use like ionized, is it ionized water, or like a really, I tend to sort of just boil my water and then let it cool and then pour it into the bottles. But all you got to do is to put the water onto the transfers, let them start to dry for a bit. So not dry, let them start, let the water set in and become loose. While you're letting that water set in and become loose, you get your micro set and you apply it to the area that you are going to want to put the actual transfers. Now don't get me wrong, I've got another one of these, so it's all good. And for me, these are going to go into the back plate. So what I do is I paint the whole back plate with this liquid. I don't just paint a little bit, I do the whole thing. There we are, and that way, if there is any form of discoloration for whatever reason, there shouldn't be, but you never know. And if there is a form of discoloration, then it's going to apply to the whole plate. It's not just going to stick out. All of that's done. Now I like to test it with my thumb. It's moving. It's moving. Get some tweezers. And then kind of put it as best as you possibly can onto the area that you're wanting it to go onto. Try and get it as matched up as you can. There we go. Now once I've got that on there, never a good thing, I will put a little tiny bit more of the microsol on top of the actual transfer. Make sure that we move it right into position. So you've got liquid on the top, you've got liquid on the bottom. I'll let that dry for a bit, so I'll just basically crack on with the others. Now once I've got these on, and it's been on for a while, I will get a bit of another thick kitchen roll. Make sure it's good quality, because I don't want this disintegrating, because otherwise it starts to stick in your models. And I'm just pushing, kind of just getting the end there, getting it right on the center, and then pushing it down and pressing it hard into the surface. Now, if it's a Space Marine shoulder pad, you might find that you do that and it looks a bit weird. Don't worry too much about that. I'll probably have to do a tutorial on applying transfers to Space Marines, because it's one of the most irritating things to do in modelling, if I'm honest. Oh, my modelling anyway. There you are. Now once all of that is done and you pressed it on, give it another couple of minutes, and then we're going to apply microsol. And what we're going to do when we apply microsol, we're going to put it all over the model onto the area that's actually there. I'm going to put some more transfers on before I do that though, because I'm wanting to have the whole range done. And once you've put this microsol on, give it an hour before you come back. So give it an hour to completely dry, put it on again. Keep putting it on there until, I mean, you can come back after half an hour if you want to, but I tend to find an hour is best, until it starts to look like it's been painted on. Once it looks like it's been painted on, make sure that the microsol is completely dry and any excess is gone before putting the hard coat on there. Because if you put it on while the microsol is a little tiny bit wet, you get a weird gunk and it's very difficult to get off. So you're best off just making sure that everything is completely dry before putting on your hard coat. Right then, fellows, I have got the actual. I'm only having 2 transfers on. I've got another one on here, and of course I've just got a symbol on the back. And what I'm going to be doing next is, you can do the hard coat, but actually, sort of backtracking a little, I forgot that you could use, if you wanted to, this lime medium. Lime medium is a medium that is just, it's just basically paint with no pigment in it, so it's just liquid, and it'll dry more of a matte, whereas hard coat will come across as a bit more glossy. Now you've definitely got to make sure that your previous stuff, this stuff, is definitely dry, because otherwise you're going to get that weird tackiness. Now all I'm going to do is just to paint lime medium over the top, and it'll create, I'm going to paint the whole section just in case there's any form of slight discoloration, but if you paint the whole section, that will make sure that that transfer is stuck and it won't come off in your hand if you decide to accidentally touch it. And there we go, we've got our transfers on, and yeah, they'll be nice and set, and you'll not be knocking them off with your finger anytime soon. So thank you very much for watching, guys. Please like, share, subscribe, and hit that notification button if you did enjoy this content. And we'll see you next time for more painting tutorials and battle reports here on Root Sim.